Welcome back to the deck. I am your host, Aiden Deckard, and today I have a topic to talk about from my English class. How can words inspire change? Today, I will talk about this question and answer it by the end of this podcast. There are people in history who have won entire wars because they used words to change the hearts of the many army men, of freed civilians, and the enslaved. During his military career in the late 1800s, a much younger Winston Churchill remarked that of all the talents bestowed upon men, none is so precious as the gift of words and speech. History proved just how powerful Churchill's command of words was destined to be. Made prime minister during the period in which Britain was watching Europe be swallowed by Nazi occupation, initial hopes weren't high for Churchill. It's easy to forget that he changed the minds of a reluctant public through his inspiring speeches and penmanship. By appealing to collective concern and converting it into courage, Churchill's words became a huge component in the Allied victory of the Second World War. His legacy lives on in any of us using words to stir our own allies into action against challenges facing our organizations. Martin Luther King is also one of the most prominent civilian rights activists in the history of the United States. One of his best known and most relatable speeches was his I Have a Dream speech. In said speech, he spoke about how he was fighting for equality for the future of his children, the friends of his children, and the children of his children. He teaches us that we need to be the equal for the betterment of the nation and eventual equality of all nations. From Lincoln, we learn that the powerful value of a powerful message that's delivered concisely. Honest Abe is said to have penned his landmark Gettysburg Address on little more than a notebook page in a train carriage en route to the memorial, which he'd been invited to as an afterthought guest speaker. That speech was presented in just a few minutes, meaning the man using the old circa 1800s camera didn't even finish setting up to photograph Lincoln delivering the message. Nonetheless, it has gone on to become one of the United States' most famous speeches, famously calling for a government by the people, for the people. Lincoln proved how a good message delivered with clarity can speak for generations. That just goes to show how much impact and change that words can have on the hearts of the many listeners. How can words inspire change, you ask? Well, by using interpretive typography and memorable imagery, words motivate people to action and become a catalyst that leads to change thinking in the mind and speaks hope to the heart of the listener. Words can inspire unity and passion. That's how they inspire change in any time zone of societies.